What's up, homie? It's Kaylee.
And Adriana.
And today we have Trivia Night, a bunch of announcements in sports for shenanigans.
And GPATV starts right now.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch.
ASB is selling holiday grams for you to buy for a special someone. You can buy them this Wednesday, December 6th through December 13th. Prices start at $1 with special add-on items available.
And remember that half of the proceeds for the grams will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
On Monday, December 11th, Trivia Night starts at 3:30 and goes on to 5:30. There'll be trivia tournament teams consisting of 5 people.
Create a group and ask a teacher to be a part of your team. Please submit your teams to Mrs. Gillette in room 3125. Come sign up.
Sounds really fun.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sign up.
Now the weather with Chris and then shenanigans with Kelsey.
What's up, cool homie? We're back with your weekly weather update. Now, this Tuesday is gonna have a high of 73 with a low of 47, and Wednesday that's gonna become 76 with a low of 50. Temperature's gonna stay roughly the same throughout this week with several partly cloudy days as well. Now, we're currently in a high wind warning that'll be effective until Thursday, 4 p.m. Until then, be sure to protect yourself from all the high wind gusts that'll get up to 70 miles per hour in certain areas. But hey, let's not blow this out of proportion. I've been Chris, and now on to shenanigans with Isaac and Kelsey.
It's Kelsey.
And Isaac.
And welcome back to Shenanigans. As you can see, we're not in the studio today, but that's because we have a very special episode of Shenanigans coming to you.
Oh, we're out in nature. You can smell that nice nature air. It smells like imported Canadian redwood.
Anyways, as the semester comes to an end, we all know you guys are getting pretty stressed, especially you seniors with college apps.
So we came up with a foolproof plan to annihilate any stress in your system. Yoga.
Now, let's show you guys how it's done.
Yeah.
Since I am the master of balance and of yoga, I'm going to be doing some yoga with some people to relax them from all the stress. So let's get on to stretching and doing that yoga. Okay. Which one am I? Double down dog. How are we gonna do this? Which one do you want to do?
Which one do you want? You want to flip a coin? Flip a coin? Alright, I'm the girl, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be doing the downward dog.
Wait, is it on your butt? Okay. Alright.
It's like on my on my hips. No, it's fine.
Okay. Alright. Same form? Yeah. Ready? Set. Go. Sit. It's good.
My legs!
Oh no.
I can barely do a regular one of those. Why?
You want to be on top? Okay.
I think it's the best to do this. I'm gonna jump on. I'm sorry if I kick you in the face.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just do. Okay. I'm gonna do knees first.
Oh!
Okay. Is this how you do it?
I think so. Whoa, that's wholesome.
Wait, is that possible? Ooh. Yeah, bend and then drop. There we go.
Why? Why are we doing this?
Okay, let's see what we got.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Which one do you want to be?
I go bottom.
Okay. I guess I'm on top again.
Okay, put your stomach on my feet. Right here. Okay, no, here.
Man, I'm so stretched out now. That yoga really helped me relax. I'm glad I did it. This has been Isaac Beecher. And back to shenanigans.
Wow. I've relieved myself from all that stress.
Wow, Isaac, that's amazing. But don't forget to not worry that much. The semester's almost over.
You're right. We got this.
Anyways, homie, this has been Isaac Beecher
And Kelsey Morano.
signing out.
Wow, thanks everyone.
That was a great job. The Martin Luther King Community Choir San Diego awards graduating seniors who will be majoring in the areas of visual and performing arts. All qualified San Diego County High School seniors are encouraged to apply.
Each scholarship typically ranges from $1,500 to $3,500. Applicants must be postmarked by March 5th, 2018. For a flyer and more information, please see Ms. Borowski in the library.
The boys soccer team beat San Diego Jewish Academy 2-0 in a well-played game.
Wow, great job, guys.
Good job. The girls basketball team has improved to 2-0 for the season with a victory last Friday night over Julian High School 36-32. The girls' next game is Monday at Press on the UCSD campus at 3:30 p.m. Good luck, ladies.
Yeah. The boys basketball team is off to a great start. They're 4-0 and they won the Delgado tournament this past weekend. Recently, immigration has been a hot topic in the United States. Bella Bowman has a story on a unique teacher's journey from Vietnam to the United States. Let's take a look.
The chaos of war easily affects the lives of civilians and families amongst all the fighting. Chi Tran, or otherwise known as Mrs. Tran, a math and psychology teacher here at Guahomie, immigrated to America as a 9-year-old fleeing the chaos of the Vietnam War. Her immigration story is a great model for the sudden flights families must take to escape war.
Mrs. Tran is one of the thousands of Vietnamese that were able to get out of Saigon on April 25th, 1975. The fall of Saigon was a massive airlift to try to rescue Americans as well as Vietnamese when the North Vietnamese Army was basically surrounding Saigon. After the airlift, the North Vietnamese Army did take over the city, and what that did is Vietnam was united into one country and it ended up being a communist country. There's an interesting fun fact about the fall of Saigon, which is that it was one of the biggest helicopter rescues ever done by the US military, and there were over 80 helicopters that rescued US and Vietnamese citizens and got them out of the city on that day.
I came over to this country when I was very young, and I had to escape Vietnam because we had a war going on at that time, and we were on the losing side. And because my dad was in the military on the losing side, the people who win, they come into the country, they take over, they pretty much execute all the high-ranking officers. So my dad would be executed. Us kids would probably be put in labor camps and just to slowly die. We were able to get onto a military, like a Marine plane, a U.S. Marine plane. And they just like stacked hundreds of people in there. We almost died on this plane actually. As the plane was lifting off, we saw that there were these pilots, the co-pilots of the plane, they came out and they opened up the doors of the plane. We're in the air and they opened it up and they were shooting flare guns out of the doors. And I was wondering what's going on, why are they doing this? And my dad actually told me they were shooting heat-seeking missiles at our plane to shoot us down. And so these flare guns actually deflected these missiles away from our plane. Luckily it worked because I'm still here today because of that. And so the happy ending is we actually landed in a refugee camp in Hawaii. And eventually, we stayed for a few months because there were complications, medical complications, we had to stay. And then they flew us over to Camp Pendleton in California. So once we were there, we were legal refugees. The United States allowed to take us because we're what you call refugees in danger of persecution from our government. And so they resettled us in Minnesota, where a church sponsored our family and put us kids in school. I had to learn to speak English. My parents had to get jobs. They already spoke English, so that helped. So that's how we got resettled in the United States. The most drastic thing is going to an American school. I didn't speak the language, and so it was hard to understand people, and people couldn't understand me. So in terms of academic, I failed practically every class except math. That's a universal language. It was hard to make friends when you can't communicate, so a lot of sign language, and you could call bullying, yeah, because I was the only Asian student in the entire school. Minnesota is very non-diverse. And so it was hard just to adjust all the different cultural things that you have to learn. So that was my biggest struggle. Grew up, went to high school, graduated, went to college. So I double majored in psychology. And I discovered like, whoa, the way the human mind works and how it connects with behavior is much more fascinating. So for 3 years, I did a psychotherapy, but I specialized in PTSD, which is trauma, people who have been traumatized in their life. And the irony of it is I worked with people who were refugees themselves, people from Liberia, from Rwanda. Back then there were lots of civil wars in Africa. And so I helped treat people who were traumatized and they were tortured by the people in their country. So they escaped, they were allowed to come here, and I was one of the people in the team who treated them. So that's kind of how I got into psychology. But that didn't work out because when I moved to California, my license to practice psychology didn't apply to California. I would need to like go to school all over again. I didn't want to do that. And so I used my background in science and math to pursue teaching career. And I enjoyed working with high school students because when I was doing psychology, I treat high school students with eating disorders. And so that's where I had that connection with high school students. So I became a math teacher instead. And that kind of came full circle, and this year they gave me the IB psychology class to teach, so it's kind of like everything kind of came full circle there.
From living a normal childhood in Vietnam to a U.S. Marine airplane to a high school teacher, Mrs. Tran tells an intriguing story that reflects upon how dramatically wars can affect people's lives. We can take her story and look at the bigger picture of today with the Middle East and other countries that are at war. Everyone has a story, but Mrs. Tran has one of a struggle, the will to survive, and unity. She is now a wife, mother, and a teacher. I'm Isabella Bowman, now back to the studio.
There's a home game for wrestling on Tuesday, December 5th against San Pascal. Be sure to support our team.
Remember, there's a girls' soccer home game in the sports park on Thursday at 3:15. Be sure to support your girls' soccer team.
That's all for today, Guahomie.
This has been Kaylee
and Adriana
signing out.